I moved to my mom's a couple years ago, and she lives way out in the country. The house we live in was built in the 70s by my great-grandfather. Well, a couple years ago I was lying on the couch. I sleep on the couch right now. In the area we refer to as the den. By the den is the laundry room. Anyway, I was reading a book and it was 10 p.m. or so, and I decided to go to sleep. I took off my glasses and put up my book and rolled over facing the back of the couch, and about 10 minutes after I had turned over, I heard a deep mama voice say my name from the laundry room. I jumped up and grabbed my glasses and flipped on the light, all in about 2 minutes, and when I looked, no one was there. And I know it wasn't my stepdad because he was asleep, and the voice was too deep to be him. And I know it wasn't my granddad because, like my stepdad, he was also asleep, and the voice was too deep to be his. I told my mom about it the next morning, and she said it might have been my great-grandfather. I've also experienced other odd things in the house.
I've had many experiences in my life, and I mean many, but this one is about a protective entity. For background, my grandmother's house is in a city near a desert. It's very small, and there's not much nightlife there, okay? Her house was a typical older Pakistani South Asian house, with a large open R where most of the family would sleep in the summer on woven beds, or charpé, as we call them in my language. It was a single-story house. There was a set of stairs that were covered that lead to the roof. And if someone was standing on the roof, you could see them from standing in the sehan or courtyard. I was around 8, 9 during this incident. I always heard her saying that, oh, there's a ghost in the drawing room of her house, which I, of course, never believed, mainly because I thought it was a way to make us stay out of there. But one night, while we all were outside sleeping, I saw it. I was looking at the sky, just waiting to feel sleepy why-wike when I felt like someone was looking at me. I turned my face to the roof, and there it was. A man. I could clearly see that someone was standing there, but it was too dark to make out any features, etc. Then I noticed something. The body never completed. It stopped at the neck. I knew it could not be any of the guys in the house because I could literally see everyone and they were sleeping. I stared at it for a few minutes. I started to get really uncomfortable and rolled over to my right side to face the main gate of the house that was next to me. I just tried convincing myself it wasn't real and fell asleep. I never told anyone. Years later, I found out that almost everyone had seen the thing at one point in their stay at her house. I was never told that the entity was headless. Only years after the incident. Negative entities radiate negative energy. But according to my mom, she did not feel that, and later on, my grandmother said, too, that this was a protective spirit who watched over us. There was a point where my grandma believed the entity to have a malicious intent and tried conducting a haven or fire ritual thing to make it leave the house. That did not end well, and my grandmother ended up almost dying. She was very obese and got pushed off of her charpai, which led to her cracking her head, etc. It took a lot of convincing, but my mom advised her not to do such practices, since she has no experience, and these practices cause a burden on the conductor's body which she obviously cannot handle. I never saw it again. Anytime. So, I'm sitting on my stoop mid-afternoon smoking a cig with my girlfriend, just shooting the shit when she says to me, "Hey, did it just get really quiet?" Keeping in mind it's mid-afternoon, I'm talking 8:30 to 9 p.m. rush hour type time. We lived next to a bar. So I say hold on and walk around the corner of the building to take a look at the main road. Empty. Okay, that's weird, I'm thinking on my way back. Before I even get back, she's calling my name in a slow but panic manner, and as I turn the corner, the first thing I see is someone standing in the parking lot. "You see that, right?" was the only thing she could say. Have you ever seen an early 2000s horror movie? The ones where their face shakes violently back and forth? That was what we was looking at. We couldn't take our eyes off of it. It didn't make a move, it just stood there watching, while I fiddled with my keys in an attempt to open the door blind. Once we got the door open, we walked downstairs until we couldn't see it, but could see the entrance, after only a couple of seconds conferring with each other, only taking the time to say, "GF, what was that?" "Me, IDK, hold on." I took another look, and it was gone. Now, when we got down inside our apartment and talked it over, what we say was a different, but neither of our descriptions are natural. She saw a tall, dark figure with TV static-type visual obstruction.
I saw something in my dream, and then that exact thing happened the moment I woke up. Let me give a little context. There's a man I have a crush on, and he likes me too, but we haven't confessed our feelings to each other yet. We've worked together for a long time, and I've always felt like there is something more between us. Anyway, we've recently started texting regularly, and I got sick today, so been sleeping late, and in my dream I saw that I was talking to this man, and he has sent me a voice note. I was just about to listen to it, but I woke up. First thing I do when I wake up is check my phone. I did, and guess what? He had actually sent me a voice note. I was absolutely shocked. It's creepy. And no, I didn't check his messages in between. My phone was turned off, so there's no way I could know that he had sent me something. And the weirder part, in that voice note, he told me that he can't wake up and he's still feeling sleepy. Exactly my condition, ATM. Anybody got any explanation for this weird coincidence?